Great. So without further ado, my name is Amaru. I will be moderating for Rafael and Natalia. Natalia Guzmán is an Uruguayan English teacher who has a BA in social communication, a postgraduate degree in management of educational centers, and is currently pursuing a postgraduate degree in organizational communication. And Rafael Fariñas is a content creator, a specialist with a background in filmmaking and a BA in modern languages, and he has a particular interest in education technology. Today, they're going to talk about Ceibal in Inglés, tailoring technology to bridge the gaps. So the mic is all yours.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, welcome and thank you for joining us today. My name is Rafael Fariñas. I'm a pedagogical assistant at Ceibal in Inglés, where I've been involved in the development and adaptation of learning materials for the last year and a half with the pedagogical team.
And my name is Natalia Guzmán. I work as a Ceibal in Inglés mentor since 2019. And my job involves providing support to classroom teachers who, as we will explain later, don't necessarily master the English language. Also this year, I started collaborating with the pedagogical team in the development of materials for the program.
Well, the aim of today's presentation is to analyze how the Ceibal in Inglés team used technology to bridge a series of gaps encountered in the context of its primary program in 2021.
By the end of this session, you will gain insights on how to, firstly, diversify the development of digital materials for English language learning. Secondly, stimulate ownership of new materials among learners and teachers. And last but not least, how to make the most out of technology and resources available, understanding needs, reshaping ideas, and sharing experiences.
We would like to start by introducing what Plan Ceibal is, for those of you who don't know and are watching this session. Plan Ceibal is the Center for Educational Innovation with Digital Technology of the Uruguayan state. In this next video, we will show you, we will introduce you to what Ceibal in Inglés is as a program within Plan Ceibal.
Hi, my name is Eugenia. I am 10 years old. I have got 2 dogs and 2 cats. I live in Ceibal.
Hi, my name is Tomás.
Hi, I am 13 years old.
Soga is a town between Montevideo and Lima, near La Floresta. This is my high school.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks, and you?
Very well, thank you.
The school of the future, and today we're going to learn about SAFE.
SAFE es el programa de Ceibal en Inglés que incluye todo primaria y educación media, viene funcionando.
And cat. In English, please.
At first, a foreign language is only noise, sounds. Slowly, these become words. Words make up sentences.
And then the sentences make sense. A remote teacher breaks into a class through audio conference system.
In conversation class, we learn about listening, speaking, and pronunciation.
It is not only about pronunciation. We learn about different cultures because we have teachers from all over the world. We have more than 300 remote teachers
From 6 different countries, more than 21 languages, 17 English institutes, 6 quality managers, 580 schools, and 90,000 students all over the country.
We are far, but we are not alone.
It's more than a video conference system.
It's a community. We share values and convictions
about social equity and universalization.
We believe that knowledge is beyond the walls of the classroom. It's a living tool, always changing, encouraging self-management and empowerment.
And the best thing is that all teachers and students can be a part of the community.
The only rule is to be open to changes.
to see prices and value what each one has to contribute.
We instead of technology, together we can cross geographical and cultural borders. This is the school of the future.
But today,
Well, as you could see in the video, within Plan Ceibal, Ceibal in Inglés is a remote English teaching program that was created to fulfill the necessities of EFL learning mandated by the National Primary Curriculum for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. Until 2019, Ceibal in Inglés functioned around what we call the weekly cycle. This cycle involved a 45-minute A class or lesson A, led by a remote teacher in charge of teaching lessons in the target language. Following the lesson A, and two other instances called lessons B and C, and led by the classroom teachers, who are Spanish native speakers and who don't necessarily master the English language, took place. Classroom teachers have a facilitator role in the program, and B and C lessons aim to review and recycle what the remote teacher has taught students.
As you can see, the Ceibal in English approach is a combination of 3 different language teaching modalities. Remote teaching, because English teachers are not physically at the school, but they teach lessons once a week through a video conferencing system. Collaborative team teaching, because both the classroom teacher, as Rafa explained, who don't speak English, but work with the students in the classroom, and the remote teachers who are in charge of teaching in the target language are both responsible of the development of their students. They work collaboratively and take decisions regarding contents and type of materials, of activities. Also, blended learning. Ceibal in Inglés consists of both remote and face-to-face lessons happening weekly. Remote lessons led by the remote teacher, and face-to-face lessons led by classroom teachers, which are follow-up language practice. Currently, Ceibal in Inglés reaches around 70% of the target students' population in Uruguayan primary state schools, with approximately 300 remote teachers who teach 100 classes per hour on average.
So, as you can see, since its inception, Ceibal in Inglés has had a close relationship with technology being the bridge between the remote teacher and students, a means through which lessons are dictated, and a tool for communication between the remote teacher, also the classroom teacher, and students, and a platform that promotes autonomous and collaborative work.
Many people work daily to make this program a reality, and we believe it is important to briefly explain how we operate. We have a pedagogical team in charge of developing materials and focus on innovation for education, a quality management team dedicated to supporting remote teachers and ensuring that lessons meet the objectives and standards of the program, a mentors team which supports classroom teachers and learning communities directly in schools all across the country, and a project management team dedicated to the administration and monitoring of all the resources and operational aspects of the program.
So, as a result of the COVID-19 contingency, Ceibal in Inglés transformed traditional lesson plans and their objectives into guides and missions in 2020. Missions present students with a clear purpose to use newly learned language at the end of each unit. The ultimate goal of missions is to make English language learning more meaningful for students, giving them the opportunity to exploit their creativity and consolidate their new knowledge as they work on small projects throughout the year. Now, let's take a closer look at missions.
Hi, how are you? In today's mission, we are going to keep learning our say. Let's review what we have learned so far.
Ceibal Inglés started in primary schools in 2012. The goal was to expand access to English language teaching to all primary state school children in Uruguay. It's a blend of face-to-face remote teaching and distance learning, and it provides a technological solution to the scarcity of teachers physically located close to the schools across the country. It's talento, always changing. And in 2020, everything changed. The synchronous ecosystem was devastated by COVID-19, and they had to find a solution to a new problem.
Let's go to the next station and see what happened. Let's use our magic card to travel to the past and see what happened in 2020.
Marzo 2020, cuarentena. Desde Ceibal en Inglés, diseñamos una estrategia de trabajo basada en desafíos que llamamos misiones.
Ay, no te puedo ayudar. De inglés no sé nada. Tranquila, mamá. Acá dice Magic Card. Tengo que hacer un automático.
Los docentes remotos presentan estos desafíos a través de 4 videos que suben a Crea. Y así las niñas y niños pueden completar sus misiones de manera asincrónica.
We have to complete the sentence. If the learning is not occurring at the same time, it is... ¡Excelente!
Finalmente, el ciclo se completa con una instancia de telepresencia, donde se expone el trabajo realizado.
Learn more about the missions. Let's hear from the children. Para mí fue una experiencia única y nueva. Consistía en aprender inglés mientras jugabas y te divertías. A una semana subía una misión. Una vez tuvimos que hacer una maqueta, otras veces teníamos que grabar videos. Hello, my pets. This is my puppet, Tina. Una era tipo de ¿a dónde quieres viajar? Una de ¿qué compra tu mamá en el supermercado? ¿Qué cosas vas a comprar en la tienda? Let's go to the supermarket. Lo que más gustó fueron las manualidades porque podíamos divertirnos pero a la vez pasar tiempo en familia. I go to my friend's birthday party with my magic card. Y mucha práctica también para la hora de hablar. De tanto practicar mi hermana aprendió a decir también las frases. Natalia and Jose are playing fights. This is my amazing animal. A mí me encantó la profesora porque nos explicaba muy bien y su carácter era muy lindo. El día que nos despedimos de ella, creo que lloró un poquito. Now, let's listen to the family.
Bueno, fue toda una adaptación, ¿no? Porque era algo totalmente diferente, no estábamos acostumbrados, si bien las plataformas se manejaban para deberes y demás, fue todo un cambio.
La computadora del plan Ceibal que daban, que tenía todo, los papás no siempre lo sabíamos manejar. Yo sí, por suerte.
Is she my mother or my grandmother? What is Roberta doing?
Yo necesitaba un montón, porque claro, era eso de llevar ese aprendizaje del idioma, algo concreto y a su vez que ellos disfrutaban.
Se integraron mucho, les gustó aprender.
And don't forget the remote teachers. We have homework for you. See you in the telepresence. Which was your favorite mission? What was challenging this year?
Hi! Hi! My favorite mission was creating my own puppet.
My favorite mission was going on holiday.
My favorite mission this year was traveling in time.
It was challenging because it was so new for everyone. We had to learn new things like editing videos.
The most challenging part about this year was reaching out to all the kids that did not have an internet connection at home. Had to arrange with the teacher, send her the homework via email or via WhatsApp so she could forward the information to the family.
Motivation and also being creative. It was an amazing challenge and we got great results.
Goodbye, children.
Goodbye, goodbye, children.
Studying English.
I really enjoy having this year with you. Goodbye. See you in the next mission. Hi. Hi.
Well, as you could see in the video, missions were the result of fast and creative work. But it must be said that after a month of implementation of this new design, short telepresence encounters were added to the model with the main goals of strengthening rapport and consolidating learning. This element of telepresence has taken place through the LMS, CREA, by using a tool called conferences, or else through Zoom. This weekly session lasted 15 minutes and included the presence of the classroom teacher as well as students. In 2021, Ceibal in Inglés planned some big changes for the primary program. Missions were a success and here to stay, which in turn involved significant adaptations to our current materials, keeping in mind the principles of gamification and communicative language teaching. However, the team quickly realized there were a series of gaps that needed bridging, and technology will prove to be a key resource in making our plans a reality. These are the gaps we found.
The first gap we were set to bridge was the one between the traditional aspects and the potential for innovation in our program. For a long time, the Ceibal in Inglés team sought to incorporate an English learning platform to its pedagogical proposal. One could argue that there is already a uniqueness in our approach by design, with remote teaching and blended learning resting at the core of everything. Yet, we were lacking something truly innovative that students could appropriate to enrich their own learning process beyond lessons A, B, and C. Also, and as we previously mentioned, most classroom teachers participating in the program don't master the English language and express feeling a bit uncomfortable with the idea of leading a lesson in a language they don't speak. Therefore, and fostering the integration of technology at all levels, the necessity of a platform that empowers them in their new role became of great importance. So, in 2021, Ceibal in Inglés adopted a new platform as the pedagogical core of all lessons and materials, Little Bridge. Little Bridge is an online platform that enables children to connect and learn English together. It provides students with a fun, safe, and enriching environment filled with interactive activities and game-like dynamics to encourage autonomous learning and authentic communication in English. This platform was selected for standing out as the most complete educational product for us, offering a series of features that would give all the actors in the Ceibal in Inglés primary program the best learning experience. Some of the features are modern user interface. It is visually appealing, as you can see, simple to use, and with game-like elements including rewards, in-game tokens, and attainable customization objects which foster engagement. Interactive activities, over 600 activities spread throughout 6 different levels. Storytelling, Little Bridge contents build upon previous ones, sustaining a narrative thread throughout the levels. Different ways of engaging, activity, messaging, songs, games, and videos. Students' Autonomy. It's an online platform that allows students to further practice English on their own during lessons B and C with the support of the classroom teacher or at home. It is also a safe space. What you can see here, it's called DigiPulse. It's the DigiPulse community, and it fosters real-time communication in English with other learners in a secure and moderated environment. Little Bridge also offers reports, and both remote and classroom teachers can monitor through these reports the students' progress in the platform by generating reports by lessons, topics, and levels. This information has proved to be priceless for the coordination between them. It is also compatible with Plan Ceibal's system and technical areas. Students can log in easily with their Ceibal issued credentials that they also use for other educational platforms, and that we can seamlessly monitor their activity. Ongoing innovation. The Ceibal in Inglés team has direct support from the Little Bridge team, and we are able to propose changes, correct errors, and implement new ideas. As of August 2021, more than 50,000 children, students of English, and Uruguayan students of English are regularly using Little Bridge, which proves the impact this platform has in our students, despite the difficult context we are facing.
Thank you, Nati. The second gap we were set to bridge was the one between the ready-made materials that Little Bridge has to offer and the materials we actually required for a student population. So as we recently saw, Little Bridge as an English learning platform offers a variety of resources, including interactive activities grouped into lessons, an online dictionary, instant messaging functionalities, and more. However, Ceibal en Inglés is a unique program with unique characteristics and necessities. Therefore, a series of customizations were needed before launching the platform for our students. The standard Little Bridge product consists of more than 600 interactive activities divided into 6 levels. And since Ceibal en Inglés reaches students from 4th to 6th grade, the 6 original levels had to be condensed into 3, requiring a comprehensive review of all the contents available and a final selection of them. This took form as our current scope and sequence. But once this final selection of contents for the program's 3 levels was done, the team worked closely and tirelessly with the Little Bridge team in the elaboration and adaptation of lesson plans for lessons A, B, and C, which of course included new missions contextualized in Little Bridge as well. So everything seemed to be on track for the new school year, but then 2021 happened. The COVID-19 pandemic hit the country again, and students were set to start school at home before we knew it. How then could the learning community get properly introduced to a new platform with new contents in a distance learning context? That was our challenge. Our original plan was to start all our groups with the contents we first conceived for their corresponding levels, but that no longer seemed neither feasible nor sensible in a COVID-19 context. A contingency plan emerged then. Our scope and sequence had to be adapted once again to present all our students, regardless of their level, with the necessary foundations to engage with the new materials and be able to actually progress and learn meaningfully. We have to admit it was not easy. Our program has worked with the weekly cycle we saw before for a long time, and introducing a change during this particular year was a challenge, to say the least, of course. Both the mentors team and the quality managers had to work hard to ensure all classroom teachers and remote teachers were properly trained to face this year's obstacles. Virtual training workshops were offered, and some of them were in groups, while others were individual. Videos were recorded and documents written. The Ceibal en Inglés team did everything in their power to make the transition as smooth as possible. By this time of the year, we can proudly say that we did it. 2021 results so far are stimulating and they motivate us to continue working today.
Well, thank you, Rafa. The third gap we were set to bridge was between our contingency proposal, the one Rafa was just telling us about, and how to support teachers to reach students that were now at home. To shorten the distance between all the actors involved in Ceibal en Inglés, and due to the 2021 contingency plan, which proposed shortening lessons themselves, 2 things were in order. As we previously mentioned, training and promoting the new platform for teachers and families, but also express adaptations to our recently designed lesson plans. For the first challenge, Ceibal en Inglés mentors played a crucial role. As a field unit deployed all over the country, mentors know the particular realities of all the schools in the program and have first-hand experience and knowledge about their communities, the communities involved. All their knowledge and expertise results in quick and efficient actions that are sure to have an impact on the development of the program whenever they are needed. With the impending arrival of Little Bridge in 2021 for the Ceibal en Inglés students, it was paramount that CTs, students, and families knew everything they needed to know about the platform. Mentors worked quickly and tirelessly in developing training modules and materials for classroom teachers, held online and live introduction workshops about Little Bridge. The team also developed supplementary resources like reference videos and instructives for both teachers and students alike. These covered everything from how to access the platform and its contents to how to make use of all the features on the student side and the teacher dashboard. As for the second challenge, the pedagogical team was the one leading the charge. While the original lesson plans were packed with interactive activities, vocabulary practice, games, and so on, there was not enough time nor resources to execute them properly in a distance learning contingency. New guides had to be developed, condensing the core new language of each lesson plan and trying to make the most out of the activities in the platform. This proved to be challenging up until the end due to the initial adaptations done to the scope and sequence. This forced us to always anticipate having to apply scaffolding strategies with each new guide. Ultimately, it was possible and efficient to take advantage of the telepresence sessions with the remote teachers. However short they were, they proved to be of utmost importance to maintain students motivated and engaged and to promote their autonomous work in CREA, Plan Ceibal's LMS. However, only guides for remote and classroom teachers were not enough. This proved to be useful for students with devices and connectivity that could actually connect to remote classes with the remote teachers. But, however, there are plenty of students with no connectivity or with faulty devices that needed to learn English too. Therefore, further adaptations were in order, thus resulting in the creation of printable and/or downloadable handouts that are the ones that you can see on screen now. These worksheets were digital paper versions of the contents of each lesson, designed to be as faithful as possible to the contents included in the lessons with a remote teacher. Handouts were posted in CREA, where both students and classroom teachers could download them and use them offline. With the aim to leave no child behind, the team also focused on offering customized materials to special needs schools that best fit their students' learning process. To achieve this, meetings between the schools and the English institutes working with them were organized to share best practices. After these meetings, Ceibal and Inglés staff visited the schools to see firsthand how classroom teachers worked with the core program materials. Finally, after gathering all these insights, specially designed handouts were prepared and shared both digitally and physically with schools. Aligned to this objective of not leaving any child behind, flashcards were delivered to all Ceibal and Inglés schools. This is particularly important in difficult context schools, where connectivity issues and lack of devices are very common. Flashcards are a great resource for students, for classroom teachers to adapt busy lessons to a more traditional, but yet still innovative model, offering students the opportunity to review and recycle content in a fun, dynamic way while keeping the context of the original Little Bridge Wall. You can see the flashcards now.
Thank you, Nati. So the fourth and final gap we sought to bridge was the one between the conception of pedagogical materials in the office and the implementation at schools. The challenge then was, how could Ceibal Inglés make sure that this new set of materials was level appropriate, that contained a manageable workload, and was fun? It was only possible by joining the forces of the office and field teams still working remotely during the latest round of materials adaptations. Formation guides and handouts in 2020, the pedagogical team created drafts based on the original lesson plans that were then reviewed by small teams of mentors and quality managers, who also collaborated in the elaboration of handouts. These teams made sure that activities selected were not too challenging, that the content was coherent as units progressed, and that missions were created and had a communicative purpose, all in the context of the modified scope and sequence for the first generation of Littlebridge users. However, we all know things are not perfect, and some details only come to light once lessons are about to be taught, or even during the actual lessons. The Ceibal in Inglés team receives constant feedback of these details to make improvements and changes through two channels. One is the quality management team, who hear directly from remote teachers and institutes, and mentors, who are in direct contact with schools. In observing classes and having a direct relationship with remote teachers, quality managers often detect where there is room for improvement. The mentors team collects feedback from classroom teachers, head teachers, and students, which is of the utmost importance to ensure students' progress and a positive experience overall. One final stage to bring Ceibal in Inglés as a pedagogical proposal to life relies on the project management team. Together with the business intelligence unit of Plan Ceibal, Littlebridge usage data is constantly collected, monitored, and analyzed. The advantages of this approach are numerous, but one of the main ones is to have a general picture of the student's performance in the platform, which in turn allows us to share insights with institutes and mentors alike in cases where there's need for improvement. Having this information is key to the continued success of the project and the spark for new initiatives that foster more engagement with the platform. We're proud to say, for instance, that the Littlebridge Olympic Games are going on right now, our first all-digital event in which all our student population is participating.
Well, we know we have come a long way in implementing innovative solutions in Ceibal in Inglés, but we are also aware of the many opportunities in the path ahead of us to continue delivering enriching learning experiences to our students. The coming years are sure to bring more gaps to bridge, but with the help of technology and our team, there is little doubt that we will be able to overcome those challenges too. If these last 2 years have shown us anything, is that even in the most difficult crisis, there is opportunity. It is important to be open and use them wisely. We would like to invite you all to start looking at what you believe was an obstacle with this new perspective in mind. So, it is important to allow space for struggle and difficult times, knowing that sooner rather than later, all the pieces will fall into the correct place. And now, going a little bit back to the title of this presentation, it is important to recognize that technology wouldn't be as powerful as it is without the human component, which is constantly questioning, empathizing, and collaborating with the aim of improving and achieving greater results. The combination of both is what makes bridging gaps possible.
Thank you, Nati. We want to finish by thanking you for attending this session and reminding you that Ceibal in Inglés has a booth here at Revolution 2.0. You can find it at the Expo Hall and check it out. If you want to learn more about us and what we do, please go ahead and take a look around whenever you have the chance. And speaking of which, and in case you missed it, we would like to invite you to check our quality management team's presentation on replay here at the event. They shared with us yesterday a series of excellent tips and strategies to support teachers in difficult times. So please go and watch it whenever you can. Right away, if you don't have anything else to do after this presentation, you can go and jump and watch a little bit of it or the whole presentation. If you have time, it's a great opportunity to get some insights on teacher support. We also have a book coming out very soon, and we would like to share with you, titled Ceibal in Inglés, Against All Odds, Pandemic Edition. It's a very great title, in which we compiled many different experiences lived over the last 2 years from all the actors involved in the program, including, of course, remote teachers, classroom teachers, head teachers, institute coordinators, quality managers, mentors, everyone, really. We expect to upload it to our website very soon. We can hope you can check it out too. And last but not least, we want to invite you to check out another amazing and very special project for us that came to life thanks to technology and that we launched recently, called La Voz de los Niños. In English, it will be like the voice of the children or the children's voice. And it is an interactive web page in which we gather different projects that children worked on during the pandemic, focused on their feelings and experiences lived during COVID-19. It includes stories, poems, comics, and more. You can find it on our website, as you can see on the slide. Please go check it out. Next year, it is our hope that children can keep contributing to La Voz de los Niños with their voices this time, or well, that time, in next year, based on their first experiences using Little Bridge in 2021. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah. Now we're open to questions if there are any.
There are some questions in the chat. They are asking for our YouTube channel. Maybe, yes, we have.
Yes.
It's called Canal Ceibal. There are plenty of videos there. Maybe
here in the slide, you can find it as Ceibal in Inglés in YouTube. You can see it here.
Maybe we can paste the link.
Yeah, look it up, and if you can paste it on the chat, that would be great. As you can see, Ceibal in Inglés not only has content, of course, the YouTube channel about Little Bridge, but also some other resources. And I think there are recordings of the like workshops that they held online during the trainings for this year, and I think past years, past events. We didn't mention it in this presentation, but we also host. Sorry, I'm sorry. No,
I think it was me.
Yeah. We didn't mention it in the presentation, but we have, of course, additional initiatives that go beyond the bridge and go beyond what we do in the core program, but support it fully, like the Rural School Spring Festival. I think there are some materials in the YouTube channel about it.
I paste there in the chat our YouTube channel, the one about Ceibal in Inglés. There are plenty of videos there.
Yeah.
And I'm maybe we can paste also the La Voz de los Niños.
Sí, of course. Yes. Bilingual time.
Yeah.
And we have a question from Aida del Rosario.
Yes.
She's asking, what is the role of the classroom teacher while the class is being developed?
Yes.
Well, during A classes, do you want to stop sharing?
Sure.
During A classes, while the remote teaching is like teaching in English in the target language, the classroom teacher has an active role. She is or he is encouraging students, motivating them. She takes like a deep look in like trying to see if students are understanding, if questions are needed to be answered. She also, most of the times, she collaborates in answering questions, singing songs. She has like a really active role because she's a learning model, right? She doesn't speak English the same way as their students don't speak English. So we call it like a learning model. She has like the same attitude, like a positive attitude to learning the language. So this is like a mirror to their students, right?
Yeah. And she's also asking that this is a government-supported program, and like, what are the requirements for the English teachers to participate in this program? Can anyone join? Do they have requirements?
Yes. Let me answer that in a little bit more detail. Yes, Ceibal in Inglés, well, Plan Ceibal as an organization is partly a government initiative. So yeah, we have support from the government, and that's why we work mainly, or I think only in public schools across the country. And yes, the way in which we work is that remote teachers, of course, have to come from somewhere. And in this case, there will be English institutes or language institutions which also teach English. And we are constantly, we have long-term partners who have been with us since the start, or they have joined very early on. And we are also constantly looking for new partners, as the demand for English remote lessons or for joining the program at Ceibal in Inglés continues to grow as well. Time passes. We're now in 2021, and we expect that in the coming years we keep growing. And the remote teachers are selected mainly through a series of selection processes, which the quality management team oversees in their role as direct links with the institutions of English or languages. And they need to have certain qualifications for joining the program and imparting lessons in English for Ceibal in Inglés.
Okay, and has anyone any other questions? You can open your mics now. Now it's your moment, guys. Come on.
I don't know where you saw the question. It's in Q&A.
Yeah, Q&A.
I was looking for it in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah. Or any comments, maybe, perhaps? No, nobody.
If there are,
you made very clear. You have explained everything very well.
Yeah. If you have any further comments, I think we have a couple of colleagues from Ceibal in Inglés, like right now at the expo hall in our booth. So
I think she.
Yeah. Hi, Aida.
Hi. I am from El Salvador, and I was very impressed with this project because I think it can really work anywhere. We really, in our public schools, we lack a lot of professionals of the English language. And I said, well, this is a really interesting idea, because you have the classroom teacher, right? And this teacher does not know English. So it's like, as Natalia said, it's a role model because the teacher is learning along with the students. So I think that's kind of motivating for the students and also for the classroom teacher. And, we have that problem here that we don't have a lot of specialists in the language. And sometimes the classroom teacher is the one asked to teach English, but how is the teacher going to teach English if he or she doesn't know the language? But with this methodology that you guys have, it's just amazing.
So,
and I love it. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Which is what is with sorry, Denise.
Hi. Sorry.
Hi.
Hi. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Denise Lowry, and I'm the Regional English Language Officer at the U.S. Embassy in Lima. This is our event. I just wanted to make one very general comment, and that is that when the pandemic first began, and we were all scrambling, trying to figure out what to do, one of our first phone calls was to Gabriele Kaplan with Plan Ceibal,
who's live right now watching. Yeah.
So that was one of our first phone calls because, we already knew of Plan Ceibal in Inglés's work, and we knew that you had the most experience of anybody we knew with dealing with situations like this. And a lot of what we've done over the past 18 months has sort of hinged on the advice that we were given by Plan Ceibal during that phone call, and then I think maybe one or two others after that. So I wasn't here for the entire presentation because I'm trying to visit many sessions, but I just want to comment to those of you who are listening. I'm sure that what you learned here is very good stuff, and we're so happy to have you all presenting with us today. We feel like we've got word from the true experts on remote teaching and learning. So I just wanted to add those little comments very quickly.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you so much, Denise. And of course, we are more than glad that we were able to help in such a difficult time. I remember Gabriela shared with us how the experience was first when all this madness began. And we are, of course, more than happy to to be able to share with us, with you in the space. Thank you, Rilo, and thank you everyone who joined the session. We hope that we can keep coming back with more innovative solutions next year, and well, to keep contributing to remote teaching and blended learning and more innovative teaching modalities in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Daniel, yes.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Rafael. Hi, Natalia. This was amazing seeing what you've done, just how everything is integrated, how you get students involved with creating things at home. And I love how you name it as missions, because it's not homework. It's not anything related with school. And as a kid, who doesn't love going on a mission? So I was wondering, is this the type of thing that could be expanded to other countries? Because I think that something like this could be really, really powerful in Chile.
Yes. If I'm not mistaken, perhaps if any of our coordinators is live, then perhaps they can join in and answer that question more precisely. But if I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I am in the chat or otherwise, there has been interest in the past of other governments to replicate or do something similar to this program. I'm going to say, if I'm not mistaken, perhaps the Mexican government tried to, or came here.
Paraguay,
I
not
think
the same, maybe Paraguay as well.
Yes. Paraguay,
here we have received some people trying to know a little bit more how we work, that came here to Uruguay and visit the school with us, and so I think, like as Aida said, I think it's possible to take this model.
I mean, if we take the origin of Ceibal in Inglés, I think that is a problem, or a situation that sometimes happens in similar countries, where there's simply not enough supplies, let's say, of English teachers or English specialists who can take on the mission, pun intended, to teach English and reach all the corners of the country, which is, of course, our goal and our current, I want to repeat the word mission.
Yeah, go ahead.
but essentially that. And our vision, of course, is to expand to every country. And that's why we're constantly, to every country now, to every corner of the country, sorry. That's why we're constantly working on new materials and ways to engage with schools and all the actors involved. So yeah, I think in short, it is totally a possibility to replicate it. And I think that there has been past interest from countries and governments in Latin America specifically. I'm not sure if anywhere else. I think also.
I think yes, but I don't want to say.
I don't want to say anything.
I'm not sure.
Incorrect.
Yeah. And about what you say about the name missions, I think if you remember the video that we showed about missions, and you can listen to students telling how they feel during COVID-19 and with the missions, they were really engaged and motivated because of them. The purpose and the way they were involved into the what we were used to call homework was much more motivating, and they were there. I think there's more videos in YouTube where you can see the families involved, and in the video say brothers and sisters learning together with them because of the type of activities they were asked to. So yes, I think it was. I won't say it is a great idea. We had
Excellent. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you, Daniel.
Okay. Does anyone have any last comments, questions before we wrap this up? Well, everyone is thanking you. Everyone is saying how
I
inspiring.
think
Hello.
Patrick.
Hello, Patrick.
Hi,
Hello.
Patrick.
Good. Actually, it's already 12 o'clock in the morning here in the Philippines. So, sorry with my attire right now. It's about nighttime already or midnight perhaps. But something that I wish to share is that here in the Philippines, we are still having online classes. Actually, I think we're only the last country that haven't had face-to-face learning. So it's already a difficulty for teachers like I, who is teaching English media and communication, because we don't have to see our students physically. Up to now, vaccination rollout here in my country is really slow, and the number of cases having COVID is rising. That's why one of the challenges with teaching as of the moment is that we have two modes of learning. One is modular learning, and the second one is through online learning. So most public schools here in my country, we do modular learning. So modules are given to students which are created by teachers from different districts, from different parts of the country to contextualize the lesson. But one of the problems that I've noticed that happened here in the Philippines is that Filipino students perhaps, are becoming more creative in terms of cheating. What do I mean by that? There's this one Facebook group that was created by Filipino students. I don't know if this is a similar case in other country. It has around, if I'm not mistaken, 100,000 Filipino students in that group, and they upload there the answer keys to the module. So imagine it's like a national scandal wherein they just posted the answers, and other students from other parts of the country will just copy the answers and write it onto their own modules. And that is already a problem here in the country on how we can try to not only bridge the digital divide, but also protect the academic integrity of the materials the teachers are creating. So I think that's a gap that not only the government should look onto, but also this is also an issue that schools should also monitor. And I think it's really a big problem because cheating is rampant in terms of online learning. There are cases wherein students uh, will use Discord to record the session of one teacher, then other sections will present it to the other. So I might say that yes, there is digital divide, but knowing that here in the Philippines, we're known as the social media capital of the world, there are a lot of internet users here in my country. They use digital platforms for academic dishonesty and cheating. So I think that's one of the things that educators should also try to resolve. Thank you
You
so
know,
much.
no, Patrick, thank you.
Thank you, Patrick.
I would like you to tell you a little bit what type of evaluation we take here. There is this adaptive test we take at the end of each year, which is it is not like the same questions for everyone. It's like a platform that it will be asking questions to students, taking into account what they know, and like based on the correct answers they give. So it is different for every student in the same classroom. Here in our country, another cheating thing they do is like Googling in translators, dictionaries, or stuff like that. But in our case, the classroom teacher is the one helping us to monitor their aspect, as their role is also to monitor what's happening, monitor behavior. So this is how we deal with it. Also, in Little Bridge, there are plenty of activities going on at the same time, and as it's like an autonomous platform, it's a platform to work on their own. Since they are not always doing the exact same thing, so like cheating in that platform is not that easy, or it's not desirable, not even for them, because they are doing like going in different paths. So probably this adaptive kind of tests are like great in that way. They can't cheat, like they can copy what others are doing, and maybe something like that you can like start like trying to go like in that
I think
to that direction.
Yeah, and I think that also one of the things, because we want to go back to the start of the presentation, we focused on the primary program. So, even though they are fourth graders to sixth graders, there's also an element of, they're still not that, well, they are right now currently so much of us influenced by the internet and social media to cheat maliciously, let's say. They find ways to work around the limitations of the platform. In the case of Little Bridge, or even in CREA, the LMS. But one of the advantages we have at Plan Ceibal is that since all of our systems and platforms are centralized, meaning that everyone uses the same materials and platforms, these are also moderated, and there's a unit specialized here at Plan Ceibal in digital security. I'm trying to recall the exact name, but they monitor that kind of activity in cases where there's inappropriate postings or this sort of gray moral thing in which maybe someone or some student, perhaps not directly the students, posts solutions or answer keys to materials. Our program really doesn't leave much room for that thing to happen. But when it does happen, we're prepared to deal with it, and thankfully we can keep it contained so far, at least. That's one other advantage of working with these platforms and technology, of course, in general.
Well, I'm sorry. Sadly, we don't have more time.
We ran out of time.
Yeah. So if you have any further questions, I don't know how you can contact them. Maybe you have Instagram, Facebook.